Hey guys, and welcome to Vanguard Tactics. I'm Stephen Box, and today, join with Joe Coles.
Again,
once more.
Yeah.
You are back.
Ceaselessly here.
Yeah. So anyway, how's today gone, Joe?
Busy.
It's been a busy day, hasn't
It's
it?
warm.
It's a very warm, busy day.
So warm in here. I was saying, I feel like we should change our times
to
about 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, nice and early.
When it's like well cold.
When it's fresh, because it is quite warm today. We've done a huge photo shoot today for a new series of terrain that we've sort of put together. Looks absolutely incredible, and we'll be going on pre-order very soon. So some really cool terrain coming out. But anyway, that's what we're doing the photo shoot today. Now, before we kick off, we've obviously got the Learn to Play 9th edition free online course. The link is below. So if you want to take your game of 40k to that next level and really get ahead of the game, no pun intended, with 9th edition, then all you need to do is sign up using that link below, and it's in the description. Now, one more thing is, if you do that and you are a subscriber to the channel and you comment on a video, then you can be in for a chance to win what is a massive, massive competition.
It is
huge. Absolutely huge.
It's possibly the biggest thing, the biggest competition ever done.
Yeah.
Next to maybe the National Lottery.
Could well be. Now, we're just going to quickly want to make sure that our audio is working okay. Let's just double check this.
We've got that timer on the bottom. Do we need the timer? Oh, it's counting up this time, not
Is
down.
it counting up? Guys, just let us know if you can hear us all okay. And I'm going to tell you what this live is all about. If not, we can quickly change over the settings. Yeah, mega huge, so many items, it's incredible. Obviously you guys can hear us well. So I'm going to show you what we've got up for grabs. One, Katachan Colonel.
He is awesome.
One,
pass it along.
This is a sort of custom made measurer. It's brand new in the packet, obviously.
Yeah.
You've got 9 inches, 3 inches, half an inch, 1 inch and 2 inches.
There's got 6 inches on there as well, I think.
I don't think
there's
so.
like a little where the 3 inches stops.
Well, I suppose
there's a cut off line.
Yeah, that would be 6 to the other end.
But it's end to end, not the curve.
Nice.
Always remember, not the curve, straight lines.
We've also got, you win an entire box of terrain that fills a table. So one of those.
Yep.
You also get a display tray / army case. Not army case, but army tray and display tray.
Yep.
You also get a stainless steel mug, a cap. You also get an entire day of gaming with us here at the studio.
Steve will make you tea and coffee.
Joe is on that.
Yeah.
Well, it depends who's playing, really. If I'm playing, you're making tea, and if you're playing, I'm making tea. So that. And there's one more.
They have access to our armies.
So you can use any of the armies here that you have. So if you don't even have an army, you can just rock up and play.
Say your aunt enters, and she wins, she can come here, and we can teach her to play with one of the armies. Yeah,
and you may or may not, when you actually will be getting one of these. Now, this is just an empty box.
You'll get more than an empty box.
This is just an empty box, if you're wondering why, but we have an Indomitus box for you. Yeah. So this is just an empty box, but as
you will win the box with the actual proper contents.
Yes.
Not just an empty box.
No, but as an empty box, even if it was, it's still pretty cool. Anyway, so you also get one of these. So yeah, loads of good stuff. So all you need to do, subscribe and sign up for that link.
Yeah.
And you've got
subscribe to our channel, obviously, not someone else.
No, this one.
This one.
And click that Learn to Play. So what we're talking about today, Joe.
Comment on one of our videos.
That's it. If you're commenting on this one, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So loads of good stuff. And we may even have more prizes coming. So the prizes are just stacking on.
Yeah.
Like it's like a full prize stack.
Yeah, we just added to it every week. We just open a box. That can just go in.
That can just go in. Yeah. So I reckon with the price of the Katachan kernels, everything else is coming on. It's a pretty, Chris Clark, we had him at just the empty box.
Yeah.
He's empty.
He can show off. He could be like, he put it in the window.
Look at this box.
When someone walks past, they're like, oh my God.
He's got a box.
He's got a box.
He got a box.
Yeah.
I know there has been a little bit of negativity around the Indomitus boxes in how many were available. But guys, let's be honest. I don't even imagine Games Workshop even anticipated how popular it would be. And also, let's give them a bit of a break because we have just come out of, and some of the world is still in, absolute pandemic at the moment.
And they have said that the third-party retailers are getting a second wave. More is coming, and looking at how it's all packaged, with some stuff being a unit on a sprue, some of it mixed together, individual characters on their own individual sprues. I imagine it's going to get broken down into start collecting boxes.
Later on down the line.
And characters. So you'll still be able to get them. Just, it's your only chance to get it now. Kind of thing. But you can win one by entering.
Exactly. You can. Make sure you don't tap that.
I get told off every week.
Well, you know, I don't want to bang into the guys and they'll be complaining about the audio.
Just all arms.
You know what the internet's like. You know, I mean, I got in so much trouble for saying Tigurus. When I didn't even know that I was meant to be Tigerius.
Not Tiger, us.
Well, you know, I am dyslexic and I do pronounce things.
But people say things wrong all the time. Like
Brian. Let's take Brian, for example. Brian says water. Not water. Like this is water.
Water. Some people say
water.
Aluminum. Aluminium.
So look, it's tomato. I say Tigurus, you say Tigerius.
I heard a guy once say Razorback instead of Razorback.
That's a new one.
That I don't get the rage very often, but you're just like, I'm just like, wow. But there's like one for every group, you know?
There is, exactly. And I am just that person that just can't really announce things very well. Or enunciate. Pronounce. It's either pronounce, announce, or enunciate. One of those three words. Read. Not very good at. But I tell you what I am good at, and that is deciphering and creating army lists, and that is what we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about Drukhari and also Harlequins, and a massive shout out to a couple of channels actually, or one channel and one site. Number one, good friends of us is Goonhammer. They've done a fantastic review of all the new points that are coming out. They are one of the official reviewers, which is great that we're obviously getting this kind of official stuff and points. As you know, I hate talking about leaks and things, so actually talking about it from an official review is great, and also the channel Striking Scorpion. So if you want to get any of that information, then head over to Striking Scorpion or head over to Goonhammer, and you can check that out, obviously, after you've finished
with the Striking Scorpion one, you've got to be fast on that pause. He's a speedy reader.
He's a speed reader.
He gets through it pretty quick. So you got to be...
The little tip, what you can do is always put talking or playback speed to 75%, or sometimes 50% if you're trying to make notes.
I've found writing, best thing you do, write all your units down, then write all your shooty guns first, and then write all your combat weapons, and then do it.
Take your notes, But you get a pretty good feel of where things are at. And if you've been listening to us anyway, if you listen to our not our last one, but the one before, all about points changes, that roughly everything's going up by about 10%.
It was...
I mean, I hate to say when I'm right, but...
There was like a slight 11% at one point, and then I was like, you're just wrong. All the words...
Nitpicking.
Me, just...
So if you listen to that one, I think actually it still stands in pretty good stead. That obviously, it is going to be that 10%.
And you've got to remember, it's not just your army that's gone up. I think a lot of people forget that. They can see the red. They're like, oh, my army's like got so small. Or it's like, I've lost out so much. But everyone's doing it across the board. So, like, it's consistent. Your army's changing.
We've been playing 1850. We've been playing not 1850, 1800 points for weeks. So actually, I've looked at my chaos list and I've gone, okay, well, I drop this guy, swap it for that dude. I drop a couple of guns, and it's exactly what I've been playing with. My Harlequins, I just go, cool, fits perfectly. No, I actually have to drop one guy.
My Drukhari list, which I've been running at 1800 points, all I've lost is 2 grotesques out of a 9-man squad and 1 Chardonnay and Impaler. That is it.
There's some big losses there, mate. But how are you going to cope?
The AdMech, though,
steep increases.
They took a hit. However, Castellan robots entirely justified on an army, on a unit that puts out 9 shots per model minimum.
They were ridiculous. Like since the Psychic Awakening, they went from being bottom tier to top tier like that.
If a knight charges into a unit of Castellans and you have a bit of a fluff, right? You go horribly wrong. Those Castellans are going to put some hurt into you real bad. So it's entirely justified. I know someone's asked about Tyranids. I know they've had a big points increase. But you've got to remember, the whole army is monsters. They get to shoot in combat and fight in combat better than the Leman Russ.
And also there's some really good terrain interactions that those flying Hive Tyrants can now get, because flying units can just jump over ruins. As far as I've realised, that you can just jump over if you're a flying monster now, which is huge. You couldn't do that before.
Could we say the Trigon is viable?
I mean, let's just go steady there, Joe. Okay, can he fly?
No, but he can tunnel and he can take people with him.
Okay, well, unless they get some additional to their charges, if you're still looking for an 8, then Anyway, so myself and Jack all day yesterday were planning out 2 things. Number 1, the Learn to Play series, so that'll be ready to go for the 25th. And also the other thing that we were planning is our VTGT, which is going to be on the 1st and 2nd of August. Couple of last minute things to just square off with obviously COVID and things, but the first ever tournament that we're going to be running, the VTGT, or it might be the VT Grand Prix potentially. I might change the name, but I'm going to send out an email later on this week, and if you are an Academy student, you will get 20% off tickets. Just as if you're an Academy student, you get 20% off all of our Vanguard Tactics products anyway. So that is going to be massive.
And we're going to be live streaming it.
We're going to be live streaming the entire event. It's going to be in Poole, in the UK, in Dorset. So if you're available that weekend, tickets have not gone on sale yet. I can imagine it will sell out. It will be the first event of 9th edition, official one anyway, I think. And also, good friends at 40k Stats are going to give us some coverage, I think, as well. Spoke to Pete the Falcon. He was like, "Sure, we can short something out for you, Steve."
I've never met Pete the Falcon, but I am excited.
Yeah,
because he's
not coming.
Oh,
that'd be a long way from Canada.
Do I get to speak to him?
No.
Oh,
maybe I was, say
I could fangirl. Do like a little squeal? Like,
Pete is going to hate that.
Why?
It's not his thing.
The thing is though,
he likes.
I've never met like an internet famous before.
Okay.
Or any famouses apart from maybe a few rugby players.
Right.
And I had a few opportunities and decided not to.
Okay, and then you regret it.
I regret it, and so now I'm gonna turn those dials up to 11.
Yeah.
Like
proper fangirl.
Yeah, I'll take a banner.
Yeah.
Like wear some like of his own apparel.
Okay.
So like maybe just buy a t-shirt with a falcon on it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Wow, that's big. Okay, so Pete, if you're listening, mate, fanboy right here. Probably scared him off. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, so we're going to dive into the chat before we crack on with Drukhari chat and also Harlequins. Jared said I would fly from Alaska for that prize. Cachet.
And you should.
Yeah, you should, mate. What have I missed? Oh, Matt, you've missed everything. We went through the entire... we even showed you that we've got an empty box that you could win. Full of stuff.
Oh, can you whack that at me again? Because it is... Oh. We've got to turn the fans off.
Just
so you can hear us.
Yeah.
We suffer for
We do, especially on a hot day. Yeah. Do Tyranids, Go Tau, so how screwed a Gene Stealer Cult? Haven't looked at those yet. So here's a hot take. Shooting in combat isn't going to help monsters that were already suffering. They can still get tied up by a unit of guardsmen and end up forced to shoot something worth nothing. Well, that's exactly why. That is exactly why the combat is not dead.
You say that. If a unit of guardsmen charges a flying hive tyrant,
they're brave.
They deserve to be applauded.
Yeah.
You're going to lose 3 of them off the bat, really, aren't you? Because he only gets like 4 or 5 attacks.
Right.
And then he gets to do psychic against you. Then he gets to shoot you with his like 12 brain leech attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're still alive then you should just hand the game over to your opponent.
Bear in mind, if you, you've obviously got 1 round of combat.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can smite and shoot, and then you're still eligible to charge because you didn't fall back.
Yeah. So if you kill those in a shooting phase, off you go to the next lot. Oh, yeah.
So don't worry about it, Pac-Man 184. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it would just be silly if that tank or Nid monster could shoot anything. Combat armies would just be absolutely trash.
Yeah.
So we need... I mean, I'm a combat player right here, and I've already had a lot of things taken away from me personally, I feel.
The entire combat phase rules for 9th edition, how it's changed, this man here. That's all his fault. You did it. They were like, Blood Angels, we don't want them to be good.
No.
Steve, you're making the old plastics look too good. We only want Primaris. So, back in your box.
We've listened to your podcasts, and that is it. All your tricks, down. But I will find new tricks.
But they are still real good, because it's still an army of flying space marines that punch you to death.
Yeah, so I will be finding new tricks, and I will be sharing them with you lot, which is why I've gone for an army of clowns, because they have all the tricks.
Yeah.
All of them. Yeah. So there are some huge winners, in my opinion, of 9th edition, and we're going to cover lots of those on the channel with our battle reports. We've done 2 test battle reports now. We're actually filming the first official one tomorrow.
Are we just ditching the other one?
I'm not sure.
Is it because...
It was a landslide.
It was fun for me, and it was fun for Steve.
But it's not going to be good viewing.
No,
necessarily.
Maybe we could put it up as like a...
We'll put it on the Plus channel for a laugh. So, and the Plus channel is going to be coming soon as well. Probably release that on the 25th of July at the same time, if we can get the content done, which I'm sure we will. But it was an absolute landslide, and I don't know how entertaining it will be to watch. I mean, it'll be funny.
It'll be good. Yeah. Some crazy stuff happening. The fact that you can't re-roll explodes now.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I enjoy that.
Well, you didn't actually.
I didn't. No, that one.
And I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all good. So what can we say? What we're filming tomorrow?
So yeah, you can say what we're filming tomorrow.
So we are filming Drukhari, my dudes.
Yeah.
Versus
Ultramarines.
Yeah. With Girly Man.
No, I'm not running Girly Man. I got Calgar. Fist Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we're doing tomorrow. So let's dive into Drukhari.
Yes.
Okay? Let's dive into Drukhari now. And then we'll swing it round and we'll discuss some Quins with me. So I want to ask you a few questions, Joe.
Fire away.
What was your overall impression straight off the bat?
Of the new points?
I want to know of the new points, and also how you think Drukhari are going to play. Now, I don't like to say this about Joe, but Joe is a bit of a Drukhari expert. Okay, I don't like blowing.
Everyone, write that down and save this so it's never lost.
Joe is a bit of an expert when it comes to Drukhari. He does know a few things. The only one exception is Drazar. I still need to teach him how to use Drazar.
The thing is though, I used to run the Solitaire a lot. I still try and use Drazar like the Solitaire, but you can't, because he can't operate on his own. So he needs to have some friends with him, mainly at Kronos.
And you also, the whole fighting twice thing. That's my domain. Yeah. That's a combat trick.
Yeah, he's like the fighting phase. That's mine.
Yeah, that's my phase. Else. It should be called charge. It's like charge phase, Steve's phase. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, Joe is a bit of an expert, so we are going to dive into the overall impressions.
So Drukhari, I think, in my opinion, is one of the most balanced codexes out there.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah.
And their points, I think, actually reflect that.
Yeah.
Quite nicely. Mm-hmm. Your units are still cheap.
Yeah.
And you can chuck in really cheap troops.
Yeah.
Being able to run 3 patrols.
Nice.
Is really, really good, because it means you can get in everything that you want to get in.
Yeah.
I am really happy with what they've got.
Yep.
Stuff that's gone up is entirely justified.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like I said, the one justified points one, Dizzy's.
Yeah.
25 points now, gone up by a whole 10 points.
Okay, gone up by 10.
By 10, but you've got to think those kill Space Marines super easy.
Oh, like butter.
Yeah, and you can shoot now. Ravagers can shoot in combat.
That's great.
So
yeah,
the whole Drukhari army, I reckon, is going to do real good in 9th.
Well, there's a few things that already from play testing. We're not, by the way, when I say play testing, we're not play testers for Games Workshop, but we have been play testing from what we've got. Obviously, the core rules were released by Games Workshop. We've been using those. We've been, listening to what Games Workshop have been said, and we've been playing 1800 point games. We've been playing on the new size. We've been using the new missions that Games Workshop have released, and also what all the other reviewers have announced. So, one thing that is crucial in this mission pack is mobility. And Drukhari have that for days.
Yeah, you can be wherever you want to be, like whenever.
Yeah.
You can play turns ahead.
Yeah.
And you can sit in your own deployment zone, and when you need to get across the table, you're just there.
Now, the other thing as well, obviously last week we spoke a little bit about the missions.
Yeah.
Now, after play testing them more, I started to change my opinion on things slightly, which is, an evolution of new evidence, which is, I'd say I was a man of science, and I'm always happy to go
English. Not the written word, but science.
I'm a man of science, okay? And I'm happy to change my standpoint if the evidence should prove otherwise.
Yeah.
Now, one of those things is I actually really agree with the first turn mechanic, how it works.
Yes.
I really enjoy the fact that I don't know if I'm going first or second, because when I was playing Blood Angels, it was too strong.
Yeah, not knowing you're going first means that both players are always going to be playing defensively, be a little bit timid.
Yeah.
You're not going to go absolute balls to the wall. You're gonna always be thinking tactically. Knowing you're going to go first, you'll be like, cool, I'm just going to line up.
Yeah.
And you can't escape from me.
Yeah.
It's coming basically. If you're running Reaver jet bikes that can advance and charge,
brilliant.
Knowing you're going first,
you
go, cool, I'm tagging your entire army.
But if you go second and they've got something like a whirlwind on the other side or triple whirlwind, you might put those in reserve. And the other great thing about it is that there is a real skill to alternating deploying units, okay? It's something that, one of those things. It was kind of lost in just, it's quicker to go my whole army, your whole army, don't get me wrong, and that was one of the great things about it really did speed it up, but because now points have come down slightly, we won't be seeing such massive amounts of models on the table, so the game will speed up in other ways, which is fantastic.
With armies going a lot more elite.
Yeah, and there are some crucial things, like if you know that Joe's got infiltrators and I've got infiltrators, who puts the infiltrators down first and the position of those infiltrators is really important. What Joe puts into reserve, like Drukhari, again, have all those abilities with, you could spend, 6 CPs and put, all of your planes, all of your Ravagers in deep strike if you want, which is great. They don't even need to come on from reinforcements. They can just come down 9 inches away or in their own backfield, whatever turn they want.
Having to say what you're putting in tactical reserves before you deploy anything. That's big as well. Because you've got to take that gamble. And the same for the infiltrators. You don't know who's going first, but if you've both got infiltrators and you're deploying first, you're like, these are going on the line. I need to control the middle of that table so you can't come in.
So I think on the whole, Drukhari are going to be in a good place. They've got certainly the mobility and also they've got some extremely good durability. And Mr. Scary has also joined the chat. So welcome, Scary, another Drukhari expert. So Scary, please comment with anything. If you disagree with us or whatever, let us know. We'll bring that into the chat, have a good old discussion. But ultimately, I think my opinion, I think share the same as yours. Mobility and durability are there.
The obscuring rule for terrain has helped no end.
Why?
Just because your Ravagers are just can just sit, because they're like a real pointy unit.
Awful.
The nose is either sticking out of a building,
the flagpole,
or your fin, or one of the weird spoilers on the back. Knowing that you can just plonk behind a building, be safe for a turn, jump out, shoot, and then fire and fade back in.
Because the rules of terrain now, you have to be able to draw a 1mm line from that base to the hull, because you do measure from the hull of Drukhari, unless that's going to change in the future. But that just means that these guys are really going to just be able to hide in such a good way, because they're very narrow, but very high. So it doesn't actually matter how high your models are anymore, as long as they're not over the magic wound amount, which is it 16? I can't remember.
I think it's 16.
Could be over 16. And anyway, or if you're not Titanic, So that's going to be, absolutely perfect that those Ravagers, maybe even Raiders can stay safe now.
Yeah.
Because before they would just get shot off the table, whereas if you can just put them behind obscuring terrain, like with the VT Grand Prix that we're running, I mapped out, me and Jack put all the terrain down, so we've got fixed deployments. So every single mission you play, you know where everything goes. We've got 3 different deployment styles.
Yeah.
Which means that we've got certain firing lanes, but there's plenty of obscuring terrain, which is really, really important. So we'll be releasing our mission pack for you guys to see at home, so you can set up your terrain in such a way that really does help these armies. What's another unit that I hated to say was going to get good, but
I actually did a little lap of the building.
A victory lap.
A victory lap, because I finally won.
Yeah.
I think Venoms are the power unit of 9th. The power. Because it's all about holding.
Yeah.
The current rules and the rules pack mission, all about holding.
Yeah.
A unit that is so small it can hide behind any building and travel about 20 plus inches a turn on an advance. Because you're never going to shoot it because you want that distance. You can just build and hop everywhere.
Can it take an assault weapon?
No. But
it can't.
What you can do, obviously, if you take a unit like Witches in it, they've got pistols.
Yeah.
You can shoot those pistols if you get charged. Not that that's very exciting.
No, but also I was thinking if there was any way they could have an assault weapon, they could move in advance, use the assault weapon to shoot, and then fire and fade even further. Because you have to have shot in order to use fire and fade, but still being able to move, shoot, fire and fade.
You could take instead of taking Blackheart, you can take the Cabal, which adds 3 inches to your move.
Okay.
So then they're moving 21 inches.
Yeah.
Move 21, shoot, then fire and invade.
Right, that's nice. Yeah.
That's a healthy amount of movement.
And especially now with some of the secondaries like behind enemy lines. So when we go through the secondary mission pack, and again we're going to help you more on this with the Academy in terms of what you take, but some of the ones that you really need to look out for are the ones that are really scoring in your opponent's field, or the manoeuvring based ones. So you've essentially got attack on all fronts.
Yeah.
Now the great thing here, in my opinion, something with like Venoms, they can move out, disperse very quickly to all those quarters, and you can score big progressively. Yeah. And then the other great thing is if you even destroy the Venom,
you've got a unit inside.
You've got a unit inside that then's going to come out. And then obviously the great thing about that is you've now probably delivering an objective securing unit, which is a troop, onto an objective. So you can't just place a model on there to balance or counteract the Venom. You actually have to remove all those models unless you also have a troop, unit. So really then having, maybe 6 of these troop units in Venoms is going to be massive from a board controlling perspective. And then as long as you've got a decent enough threat, like maybe, Talos? Grotesques.
I've got a unit of 7 Grotesques and 2 units of 3.
And if you don't deal with that, that's huge. You don't want to be wasting firepower on something like Venoms. Right. And then the other huge thing as well, obviously we've already spoke about the power of what the Blood Angels had with wrapping and trapping and things. Yeah. Witches can now just prevent that straight away, which is huge. Do you have anything, apart from if you dipped into Yannari, that always fights first?
No, I think there might be one of the witch cults in Psychic Awakening,
right?
But I read all of them and I was like, no, because the core ones just.
But that might be something to review now, because obviously there's been some big changes with how combat works. Because obviously now it's the non-player's turn. The person who's not turn it is, they pick the first unit after charges. So now anything that can fight first will be great. Obviously you've got the shard net, which can hold people in combat. There's a roll-off mechanic. And if you do wrap and trap a unit and they want to use the stratagem Desperate Breakout, you've obviously probably got the most overpowered stratagem in the game, which is
Vect.
Vect.
I used Vect 3 times
the other
day. So we did a practice game versus hit your Emperor's Children with double shooting Noise Marines, which against Drukhari hurts. Yeah. So because your stack is +1 strength, +1 damage.
+1 to wound.
+1 to wound.
Double shoot.
Double shoot.
Oh, and I get +1 to hit.
And you get +1 to hit.
Oh, and I reroll wounds.
and you reroll all wins.
But we're not talking about chaos today.
No, so what you do in that stack, because obviously I've seen a lot of talk saying that everyone's like going Emperor's Children.
Yeah.
You let all of those go off. It's the double shoot you need to stop.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Because if you stop with the other ones, it's like, fine, I'll just shoot twice anyway. So you got to stop that. Vect has become so good.
The only downside, obviously, is the CP reroll now. You can't use it on a Vect. So if you do roll a 1, you're stuck with it.
There is.
But I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I think it was over. You did end up spending a lot of CP to get Vect off.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of justified because things like Overwatch and Desperate Breakout, stuff like that, are stratagems.
Yeah.
It would make Vect ridiculously overpowered given how much CP you can get.
Absolutely. Or the once per game, you want to use the
auto pass
morale. I always say you want to swap CPs for VPs, okay, or victory, command points for victory points. That's what you want to swap. So if you can swap 4 command points for, basically what could be a 5 to 10 point swing. And now remember, guys, that because of the mission pack is so heavily scored, like on the primary, it's so easy to deny somebody 10 points in the game, and that is massive. Before it was like, okay, I could swap a command point for a victory point, and that was a fair trade. But now you can swap 1 to 2 CPs for basically 5 to maybe even 15 victory points in the game, which will be the difference between winning and losing. So I think Drukhari, like you said, the points haven't changed too much. If you were playing, you've lost about 200 points averagely off your list.
If you were playing 2,000 points in 8th edition, and you hadn't kind of like prepared, then you'd be like, oh, I've lost like 300-400 points of mine. But it depends on what you're running. Yeah. So if you weren't running like the homunculus covens, you're not going to see a huge amount of increase. Yeah. But things like Talos, they've had a little bit of a bump. Yeah. But they're real good now.
Well, they can shoot in combat. I know that's not particularly great.
It's not incredible, but if you've got a unit...
Well, so this is the big one for Talos, just thinking, sorry to butt in there, Joe, is now you can fly over terrain.
Yeah. Well, they could fly before, but now you can hide.
In the charge phase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
This is a bit I've missed.
Yeah.
Pray tell.
Huge. And your engagement range is 5 inches high.
Yeah.
So you can be sat at the bottom of a ruin, and even if you can't physically place your model at the top, if you've got a Vindicator up there at the top of that ruin who's just peppering people away, you could be at the bottom, an inch away from the edge, 5 inches up, and you can still fight him, which is so big. Okay. So I think certainly it's justified to have that. I've got a couple of questions here. Henrik has said, what detachments do you take for Drukhari?
So I take one of each.
Okay.
So I take a combat. So I run the 3 patrols.
Don't worry about that. It's just a lighter knockdown. Yeah.
3 patrols. Black Heart.
Yeah.
With a single Archon, with the Labyrinth Fine Cunning, Rid of the Muse, a single 5-man unit of Cabalite Warriors, and 2 Dizzy Ravagers, because they're still really, really good. Yeah. And you didn't need 3.
No.
And like 2 now, because you can shoot in combat, like it's still really good. They do a lot of threats. Then I've got the homunculus covens, the
Rax.
My brain is just
grotesques. Talos.
Yes, I'm just the coven. What coven was it?
Prophets of Flesh.
Prophets of Flesh. Yes, I take Urim Rakarth because.
And that was me calling you an expert.
I know. It's
and
real hot.
I'm the one bad at names.
It's real hot. I'm real tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Urim Rakarth because he makes Talos strength 8. Yeah. With their scalpels, so you wound in stuff on 2s, which means that you're less likely to use the stratagem to re-roll to wound.
Yeah, and the Vexator Mask is still a fantastic relic.
So good.
Because now, again, with the changes in how combat works, you can say it doesn't matter, my Talos are still going to fight first if it's an ongoing combat, even after they've charged. And the Talos should be getting their charge off. So, for me, if I was running Drukhari...
I fixed my arm,
sorry.
Oh, yeah. So I've got Urim Rakarth, a 5-man unit of Rax to sit on objective, because... that's all they're really good for, but they are real good at it. Yeah. 7-man unit of grotesques. Yeah. Because those guys are ballers. Mm-hmm. They just wreck everything they touch. Plus, if you really need them to, they can just babysit an objective all day. Yeah. Or 2 objectives. Mm-hmm. And then 2 3-man units of Talos with the Haywire Blasters and the Macro Scalpels. Yeah. And then I've got my Cult of Strife. Yeah. My faves. I've got Lilith.
Yep.
15-man unit of witches with 1 shardnet and impaler, because you only need the 1, and then a 10-man unit of Reaver jetbikes.
Nice, yeah.
And that's it.
Not 11.
Not 11.
You had 11 in.
I had 11, and I was like, oh, he's coming out.
Yeah.
But it's a nice streamlined list, does everything you need to do.
Yeah.
You can, if you wanted to, drop the Witch Cult, but it's a big risk and take more homunculus covens. If you want to go for a real resilient army, I'd say drop those, take more Talos. Yeah. Like another unit of Talos, another homunculus, and maybe some more Rax or objective.
You could go battalion of Rax quite easy. You know, and I think it's pretty durable. For me personally, I would go full on witches. I'd go all the witches.
I've got about 40 of your witches, but unpaid to add to mine.
Yeah.
So then I'm looking at about 60.
Yeah, I would probably, if I was running it, I'd probably go the Incarn with 60 witches, probably 6 units of 10. Yeah. With all shardnets everywhere, and I'd probably run about 30 Reaver jet bikes if I was running a Ynnari Drukhari. Because the Incarn, just to quickly chat on that now, is only gone up 10 points. The Incarn is probably my favourite model in the game. I took it to the ETC last year, which is now called the WTC, and I absolutely love the interaction of that model. You can pop up anywhere you want when the unit's destroyed. You can still heroically intervene into units now, which is great. And ultimately, you should absolutely wreck things with that thing. Yeah. But the great thing about Ynnari is that you always fight first, which before was utter rubbish. But now seeing the power of that with my Emperor's Children with always fight first, and the ability to stop opponents with shardnets from falling back. And if you get your chain of, there's a real skill in the order in which you do your combats. But basically, the Incarn can go into combat with something like a knight. Yeah. It can just deliver all the attacks it wants. And then the witches then fight, pick up another unit and deliver the Incarn over. Yeah. And then the Incarn makes everybody fearless, which is brilliant for morale issues now in the game. So there's a huge, or a few benefits there that the Incarn can bring. Yeah. And I'll certainly be looking at the Incarn going forward. Yeah.
That whole attacking first mechanic makes a whole lot more sense now 9th edition is here. Yeah. When that book dropped, everyone was like, why? What is happening? Yeah. But now, like, mind blown.
Yeah, because you only lose from the Witch Cult, you only lose your +1 attack, which you can easily get anyway from a stratagem in the Ynnari book. Yeah. You lose your +1 to hit, but if you charge, you actually get that back. Yeah. So you don't really lose anything there. The Incarn gives everybody a 6+ feel no pain, so that's actually the same as powers from pain. So you're not really losing much.
Could I suggest?
No.
Incubi.
You could actually suggest Incubi, yeah.
Because
there's a stratagem to buff them, and you can re-roll wounds on a stratagem.
And a lot more survivable now. They can hide in buildings.
Yep.
And they can come on from the side of the table. Yep. But they are a unit you have to play a turn or two ahead. Absolutely. You need to know where they need to be
before they're there.
But
that's very similar to most, I would say, glass cannon armies like the Drukhari. So should we move on to the Harlequins? Unless there's anything else you want to specifically touch on. We have got a question here about Void Ravens versus Void Weavers. Personally, I don't like either.
Void Ravens versus Razor Wings?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what I said, but...
Razor Wing is just so much better.
I don't like either of them personally.
The problem with both of them is they're real weak and they've only got 10 wounds.
They can't hold anything.
The table's a lot smaller. The bomber would be good if you could bomb and leave in the same turn.
Yeah, but you need to fly over a unit and you're going to need to, I think, be able to place them.
And because the tables are so much smaller, you bomb a unit, you're now in your opponent's deployment zone right next to all their guns.
Well, the thing is, I think people forget that when you're fighting in an army, you have normally very short range guns, you have medium range, so you normally have a lot of small range firepower, a good amount of medium, and then a few long range. Yeah. But people always forget that if you're flying over turn 1 or turn 2, normally all the short range gun and medium range guns are out of range, but you're now giving your opponent easy kills, so they can now go, rather than if you didn't have the planes or played really defensively with them, they'd have to use their long-range guns on the plane, and the plane probably survives because it'll be -1 to hit with a 5-up invulnerable save and then 6-up feel no pain. So it might survive if you've only got a few las cannon shots. But now, with the fact that you're actually putting it in their deployment, so they can put their long-range guns somewhere else on the Ravagers. They can then put all their medium-range guns and short-range guns, which would not normally be able to fire at anything, but you've given them an easy target. Same with Smites.
I think
Smites pick them up really quickly.
And the problem with the Void Raven now is he's going to spend most of the game in your own deployment zone, just flying round and round in circles. So you're only ever going to bomb something once. And also, he has had a massive points increase as well. I would say massive, or maybe like 40, 50 points. And it's not worth it. I've always really liked the Razor Wings because they're really good at killing hordes, and the missiles now can shoot hordes.
Well, and they can get behind terrain, which then obviously you can pick units out of. It was the only way to kill stuff indirectly.
Razor Wings were really good in ITC for recon and picking up little units to get easy kills. But now the game's moved more away from killing, and it's all about holding. And they can't hold anything at the moment.
No.
If some of the missions change in the future, I might bring them back in.
Well, we don't know what this new GT book's going to bring out. We literally don't know. But for right now, we've obviously got 6 missions as they are. We've got the secondaries to choose from. Some of the planes can't interact with any of those. Obviously, they are still great for screening out.
I'd say the only good flyers in the game now, in my opinion, are ones that can hover. Things like the Storm Talon, the Storm Raven if you've gone mad and you put it in your army, but that thing puts out a lot of bullets. Maybe if an Imperial Fist one, which is nothing but bolted.
It's going to just die so quick.
Actually, after we played against it, Vulture Gunship with 2 Punishers.
Vultures are good,
If you can run 2 of those, just hover them in your backfield, just lacing stuff down. It's a good time.
So, someone here said, Everett said, I'm looking at a Venom spam list, would bring 5 Cabalites and Blaster in the list. Do I need something to contest centre board? Something like... Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest, I wouldn't bother with putting Blasters on Cabalites. I really would just keep them super cheap. And the reason for that is because here's the problem, right? That you're going to have. You're going to spend points on a Blaster.
Which will miss every time.
Yeah, let's not even get into that, but which probably will happen, Joe's right. But what's going to happen is the right play is maybe putting that Venom behind terrain so it can't shoot, so it's getting obscured, and if it gets shot, the guys jump out. But you're going to think, I've got this Blaster, I've paid for it, and you're going to need line of sight.
It's because too much temptation.
The temptation's there. And if you're Joe, you're going to take that temptation every single time.
Like, I used to take Blasters. And I was like, for the cost of I was taking 6 units of Cabalite Warriors. For the cost of those 6 Blasters, I could have got a massive squad of Witches in my army. Or more Cabalites. Or a plane for that kind of cost. So, it's too much of a thing. And also, you'll be too tempted to jump out and be like, I can snipe off.
And you won't. You won't do it.
I did manage to kill off your Lamarte's old Lemonhead, but that cost me CP rerolls.
Did you win the game?
No, I didn't.
Irrelevant then. Completely irrelevant as we move on.
The Blasters will work once every 10 to 20 games.
But there's no point. You can't. You want reliable, repeatable, consistent results. Okay. Again, if we're running a scientific experiment, you want something that is repeatable, reliable, and you can control the variables. Okay. You do not want to make this, ironically, a dice game. You want to remove dice from the equation, and you want to win based on being the better general, using tactics and strategies, and then, as we said.
Like in Blood Bowl, the person that wins is the one that rolls the least amount of dice.
Most likely, yeah.
So we're going to pass that over to a game that has about 100 times more models on the table, but it still functions.
So anyway, should we talk about Harlequins now? Do I get to talk about Harlequins? Or should we just leave it?
We can talk about Harlequins.
Yeah?
I hate them.
Okay.
I hate them when you're running them. I love them as an army. I think they're brilliant, and I think they're incredible. I hate playing against them.
So basically, the what I've realised is obviously, I love the way that my Blood Angels play. And I love the aesthetic of Blood Angels. Okay, I really do. But you've got Blood Angels here, and then you've got Harlequins here.
Well, they're not here, but they're slightly higher above.
They're more colourful, less shredded and jacked, but they're there. More, streamlined. Yeah. But they do, literally, they are so identical in so many ways. They really are. But I actually think I may be moving towards the Quins. And the reason for that, there's a big reason for that, okay? I love a game where I'm up against the wall, it's going to be a hard game, and I'm going to have to use absolutely everything I know about the game to win it. The skill level is so high with Harlequins.
That is the half-truth. You love shenanigans.
I do love shenanigans.
And royally messing with your opponent's head.
Because they're all things.
Harlequins just run in there, tickle you, push you around a bit, annoyingly don't kill you when they charge you. They're like, no, and they dance around.
Yep.
And then you've lost. And you're like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's like that cup game. You put the ball in one of the 3 cups, and then the ball's gone, and you lifted all 3 cups. Yeah. And it's just like...
And there's me with just balls everywhere.
Yeah.
And you don't even know where they are.
I just it's a real thinking man's army, isn't it?
The Quins and the Incarn together
is a nightmare.
It is. And when you get that right, it is like seeing Joe just melt to the floor.
Like I am now.
Yes.
Less of being on the floor.
Then I'm not going to lie, it's so rewarding. Yeah. And Joe, but the thing is with them, it's like, I tell my opponent what I'm doing, and at the end of the game, it's like the Quins can do so many things that nobody else can do, and that's what I love about art. It's got such great, what's the word, like kind of, we're so different.
When you lose to Harlequin, you're like...
Fair play.
All right.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'll take that, because it's not...
Iron Hands.
It's not Iron Hands,
with
Peak Space Marine, Leviathan...
Yeah.
Death murder.
Yeah.
It's confusion.
Yeah.
But the only good units are the ones that have legs and don't fly, as we discovered.
Well, I'm slightly changing my opinion on that.
So a conversation we literally had about 3 hours ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm still like before. It was for me. It was just Death Jesters became incredible. So I really like Death Jesters. I think I've got 3 in my list now.
Yeah.
I'm still undecided on a Solitaire. I'm still... He doesn't do what... I need to play test him with him in 9th. But now he can get killed so much quicker because of the Lookout Sir problems.
Yeah, he suffers from the rule of cool.
He does.
And the fact that...
He is real cool.
He's real cool, and he does the cool stuff when he hits people.
Yeah.
But he folds like... A chocolate fire guard. He's useless.
So we did see Harlequin troops did go up in points, but we did see a slight reduction on fusion blasters.
You didn't really take fusion blasters.
Took 0. So
I
it impacts me.
My issue with fusion blasters for Harlequin.
Fusion pistols.
Fusion pistols is you.
Number 1, they're a pistol.
Yeah, but they're pistol. They've got an awful range, and when you run in and you shoot something, you've murdered it.
Yeah.
Because you always overkill it, and then you're stood there doing nothing. And if you
want to be advancing every turn.
Yeah.
You don't want to be if they were assault pistols. Yeah. You might have a use for them.
Normally, if you run in there and you kill something like a knight, that knight will be like, cool, I'm exploding on 4+. I've now murdered all of your models.
The murder clowns got murdered.
Yeah. Yeah. And you'd rather go in like try and kill it or hold it in place so it's not doing anything, and then kind of stay away a little bit with your strings of models, and then when he explodes, less damage.
Well, it's one of those that I just think the so fusion pistols came down, the general weapons came down, but there's a big difference why, in my opinion, Harlequin's troop unit are one of the best in the game.
Is it free up invulnerable save?
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Is it the 4 attacks a model on the chart?
Could be.
Is it the 8-inch movement? Is it the fact that they ignore everything on the table, you might as well have nothing there because they just move over it. Is that it?
No. It's none of those things. Partly some of those things, but A, you can fall back and shoot, fall back and charge.
Yeah.
Massive in the game now, because they would then, like, any time there's a core rule and they just go, we don't care. Like Ultramarines do that really well. They can redeploy units. Harlequins can redeploy 4 units. Redeploy 4 units. Now in a game where you deploy your army, I deploy my army, doesn't matter, because I know if I'm going first or second, but I can deploy aggressively and you're like, okay, well, I need to go first, and I can go, cool, I can literally null deploy you by spending 3 CPs, whatever it is, redeploying basically all my big threats, and you're like, now I can just null deploy you, and you're there like, well, I've got nothing to shoot at. I'm like, okay, cool.
Or you deploy
defensively,
they deploy on the line, and you, okay, cool, I'm going first now, I'm going to deploy on the line, double move, and
we're in.
And you're there.
So the reason why I really love Harlequins, and this is where the Sanguinary Guard from Blood Angels have been massively hurt, is that if you have a melee weapon, you have to use it now. So before, again, this is what Joe was talking about earlier, when
the game,
seeing my tactics. So before, I could just have this massive axe with a Sanguinary Guard unit or sword or power fist and choose just to bite you.
Yeah, it would take his glove off and then slap you with it.
Exactly. And it was very thematic, I thought. And then I would take them hostage, wrap them up so nobody could shoot my Sangers, okay?
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is I have to use the axe now, which means there's more likelihood I'm going to kill you. Also, they've given Sanguinary Guard the death mask, which messes with people's leadership, so they're more likely to fail from morale, which is not good for wrapping and trapping. But Harlequins, so they can take a combat blade, which does nothing. So it's just there for holding, which means I can hit you with my combat blade guy, wrap you with all my caresses, okay, trap you in combat. When you want to leave, I'm like, cool, you carry on, you do that. I spend 2 CPs to consolidate back into you and wrap you.
Yeah. Can you do that with non-infantry as well? So say, for instance, like, I don't know, you were using the bikes. It's like a 5-man bike unit.
Well, I can shoot you when you fall back as well.
You shoot them, and they go, oh no, they die a bit, and then you pile into them and trap them again. It's infuriating. Yeah. So what we're saying, like we teach on the academy, don't kill your opponent in your phase.
Kill them in theirs.
Kill them in their phase.
Always kill. You want any army that can basically fight in every single phase of the game, in whether that's your opponent's movement phase or your combat phase. I want to fight in all those phases.
Yeah.
The more phases you can fight in. So I really like Noise Marines. Really like Noise Marines because I can kill you in your turn. Yeah. That's incredible.
But we did a game the other day.
Yeah. Oh.
Lilith ran in, murdered 10 of them.
Yeah.
And then they shot her to death.
They literally just went
infuriating.
Yeah. Just took her off, and you cried.
I did. Yeah. Oh man, I spent a lot of my time crying at work.
Yeah.
Just because.
It was the same with Deathwatch. Like for example, when I played Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics on the stream, and he moved his Talos in with me, and I was like, cool, 2 CPs, I'm going to shoot with my squad, and I picked up 2 Talos in his turn, and the guys on the stream, the commentators were like, I think we're still in Steve's shooting phase. Yeah. They had no clue what I did. Yeah. I wasn't cheating, I promise. But those times are so powerful.
That's why the original Ynnari was sent packing. Yeah. Because spending so much time operating in your opponent's turn is broken. But having 1 or 2 stratagems in 1 or 2 armies that allow you to do that is fine because it's their thing. And Harlequins need it. Because if your opponents could just leave combat and you couldn't react to it, they'd just hoe you down and you'd be gone.
So, I mean, obviously Harlequins are, if I wrap a Punisher tank, I've got a problem. But at least with the Harlequins, I can dictate what you shoot. Yeah. So Harlequins for me are certainly going to be an army that I probably play into 9th. I'm busy painting up as many Harlequins as I possibly can. I want loads of options, but I'm basically looking at a couple of Troop Masters, couple of Shadow Seers. I haven't decided if I'm going to run, anywhere from 6 units of troops, maybe 9 units of troops.
You were talking about doing a battalion and a patrol.
Battalion and patrol was I was tempted with. I was playing around with that. But yeah, I mean, it's a good list. Or I get rid of the patrol and I put the bikes in. The good thing about I'm tempted with a 6-man unit of bikes or 5-man because I'm going to get out the blast keyword. But basically, the good thing about the 6 is that it gives me something to put that 3-up invuln on. They've got a -1 inbuilt, and they also will get the benefit. The problem with them before was that they were on such big bases, and the bikes haven't gone up at all.
They've stayed the same.
They've stayed exactly the same. So where everything else is going up, I've stayed the same. And the other good thing is normally Fly can't fall back and shoot. I still can because I've got Rising Crescendo, which is an inbuilt ability that they have. Haywire Blasters or Haywire Cannons have also got the blast keyword, which is quite nice, but still unreliable.
Well, it's good if for that Orc matchup.
Yeah.
To be honest though, an 8-man unit of troops absolutely murders 30 boys.
Absolutely.
But having the backup of having a few strength 4 -1 guns ain't bad.
In the Death Jester now can pick the model he destroys. So if somebody's trying to conga line with different techniques, I can go, I'll take that middle one away and you'll lose half your squad. So that is huge in some aspects. So guys, I'm really happy with what I've seen so far, and a massive thank you to Strike and Scorpion for putting out those videos. Also a massive thank you for Games Workshop for still sending those guys, so that we can actually get these official reviews. Like, I absolutely hate leaks in not the vegetable, they're okay. I literally think people posting stuff on Reddit, taking pictures on their phone is absolutely awful for the community. It's awful for the game. There's no excitement to actually get your rulebook and read through it with a coffee and get that smell when you open it, to be excited to read it, or even to watch your favourite YouTube channel review it. It's just awful. So guys...
And when the leaks come out, the quality tends to be awful.
And there's so much negativity. Honestly, Facebook has been atrocious for the last, 2-3 weeks. Maybe even a little bit longer than that. But guys, remove yourself from the negativity, because 9th edition, and this is coming from somebody like, you're hearing, oh, combat's dead, this is dead, or you can't do that. I love combat armies, okay? And I could list probably 10 ways that combat has changed, probably to make it harder for combat armies. But on the flip side, I could probably name another 10 ways in which it has probably got better. And there's probably got another 15 ways I haven't even realised yet because I haven't got my 100 repetitions in.
And playing combat armies and doing it right is probably the most rewarding way of doing it. Because if you do a psychic army, you just smite everyone to death.
If you roll well, you're good.
It's just done, and you can kind of sit far away. If you take a shooting army, you just turtle up and just blow your opponent off the table.
If you take knights and you tank all your 4-up invuns and you can't be touched, then happy days.
If you can go in, use cover correctly to bound across the table,
it's quality.
Like wrap your opponent up, hold them in place, but still score points from holding. That's a real rewarding game because it shows a certain skill level, I think, as well. Because if you go to a tournament and you'd be like, I won my Tau army, I had 3 Riptides and a bunch of Broadsides, people would be like, cool, well done you. But if you come and say like, I won with an entire Blood Angel Scout army, that's probably improbable. But if you did, you'd probably have a standing ovation. Yeah,
absolutely. Now some people have said that they've gone up 10 points, and look, they might have. But again, I was watching a video, I was taking some notes of things, how it might affect my army, so I might not be right. Please, that is a disclaimer. Look, the things that we said, we don't have a book here, we don't have anything like that, we're simply going off a few notes we made. So if things have gone up again a little bit,
10
whatever.
points ain't much though.
No, it's 50 points. All I would do is, okay, cool, I run 2 Jesters, not 3, that's fine, that's not a big deal.
On a unit of bikes that can do what those bikes can do, 10 points is nothing. Their guns automatically get 3 shots when you shoot at something that's got more than 6 models, or full 6 shots if it's over 11. They can fall back, shoot and charge. They've got a stratagem that allows them to shoot when your opponent runs away from you. So if they do the desperate breakout, you can do the cut them down, then you can gun them down, and then you can heroically intervene into someone else.
If you've got a certain mask. But there's options. You've got shenanigans.
10 points for that
I'll take it.
Peanuts.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, like I said, we're not official playtesters. We don't get any of the official new things, although we'd absolutely love them. So I'll quickly dive into the chat. Fabrico said, okay, you are giving me more reasons to play Murder Clowns. Absolutely.
Besides the fact that they're awesome.
Yeah. What have we got here? Just quickly going through. Any other things that we've missed? Apparently the Trigon Prime can still get a 3D 6-inch charge.
Really?
Apparently so. I'm not sure of that myself. All
the way to the top.
Any thoughts on Deathwatch? I'm going to leave that until we see the new codex, which was sort of rumoured by, Games Workshop, wasn't it? They said there could be potentially a new one.
So some FAQs have come out today, this afternoon. I only saw the White Scars one. Right. The White Scars new ability allows you to change the advance and shoot heavy weapons. You can now advance and shoot assault weapons with no negative modifiers. So that could change for like the aggressors kind of thing.
Okay.
For the Deathwatch. I really like Deathwatch, and I honestly think the best way of running them is intercessors with assault bolters. Okay. Because you have access to all the special ammunition that gives you -1, -2. You can advance them and still shoot with the chapter master or the watchmaster. If you've got the aggressor in there, there's no negative modifiers for advancing and shooting those. And you've got that stratagem, which allows you just to hit automatically.
That's nice, yeah.
With all of your shots.
That's good.
So against an orc army, you go, cool, I've got 30 automatic hits against you at -1.
And you probably reroll a monster wound as well, because that's your thing. Wolflord Ragnar, it said, poor Calgar just isn't good enough since Daddy came back. I use Calgar too. I wish you were a playtester rather than won't repeat the rest of that, but really appreciate that. And I wish I was a playtester as well. I wish we were playtesters. It would be fantastic. It really, really would. And obviously we're in a prime position too here because we play pretty much every day, which is
the Corvus Black Star someone mentioned there.
Gone up a little bit, yeah.
That's well good now because it's essentially got the machine spirit it always deserved.
It needed it, yeah.
And has it got a strafing run, so it gets +1 to hit? Or I know it gets some kind of re-roll. Oh, he's choking on water, everyone. We'll just assume. Or are you just laughing at the fact that the Corvus is good now?
Could be either. It could be either. I do like the Corvus.
Yeah. So Kylo says, don't cry, Joe. I only cry when Steve hits me.
Yeah, no one's even mentioned that about the haircut, though. That was a big change, guys.
You had a right wimp about that.
You mentioned my hair! Sorry, guys, coughing down the mic. Don't worry, if I have got anything, you won't get it. It's just a microphone, alright?
Yeah, I wouldn't go on Harleys yet. They're still incredibly hard to play and still did.
When you read, you got to read clearly so the people can hear what you're reading. Going,
Pink Gorilla.
Yeah.
Gorilla. For Tarzan fans out there. I wouldn't jump the gun on Harleys. They are still incredibly hard to play and they still did receive some minor points increases. It'll be fun to see in the long run.
See, I disagree. I say jump the gun, skip the shooting phase, go straight into combat.
Or you could say you agree they have had minor points increases and they are hard to play.
They are.
But
still jump the gun, go straight into combat.
Like I think it's entirely worthwhile because with Harleys, they're hard to play. Yeah. And they're never going to be an army you pick up and win with.
No.
Ever.
Like somebody said to me, or somebody put in a group, a certain group that I'm in, and they said, oh, this is changed. As we've seen, Mr. Box has abused. And they were talking about certain combat interactions, the way I used to use auras in 8th edition. As I've said to you guys all the time, I don't take characters that do anything. I take characters that buff my units. Yeah. And I really make the most of that. And I have certainly been, in the time I'd take 15 Death Company, I'd have 10 strong back, literally, to get me about 24 inches back from my characters. Yeah. And I'd only fight with 5, but it's not the abuse of the rule that I was winning games from. Blood Angels were one of the lowest performing factions out there, maybe apart from a couple of other players that were doing well. And but I got like 100 reps in.
Yeah.
And my reply was, it was the 100 repetitions with my list that perfected the list, that made me know how to run that inside out, to know what I do in every single matchup. That got me. It was the LVO experience, other GT experiences that made me learn what to do in those situations that won me those games.
And those 100 repetitions, I'll probably say 70 of them, I was on the receiving end.
Yeah.
It was like, I think I won some games in the early days. 1 or 2.
Maybe.
I lost a lot of them. But you, like the Blood Angels and Harlequins, it's not abuse of the rules. It's playing an army to death until you know, like, literally every minute rule possible there is to make it function. And it might, some people says, oh, you're abusing the rules. You can't abuse the rules because you're not cheating. You're not taking advantage of stuff. You're just using the rules that are being put out there.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to make those armies work.
Yeah.
Those armies work. What always made me laugh is that you did this with this army, and people were like, "No, Leviathan 3 whirlwinds."
Yeah.
And
or they just went, "Oh, you just take Steve's list and you win."
No,
try.
Because I took that army list to a tournament
and lost.
And I got absolutely spanked with it.
Yeah, but
just because I was on the receiving end of it all the time doesn't mean I knew how to use it.
Yeah, so there are, and that just goes to show that any army that is out there can be good, and you just need to practice and practice and practice, okay? I'm a firm believer of that, and it's what we teach all the time. So we've got that Learn to Play series, that's in the description below. Obviously our academy, I think we're at 160 students at the moment, and we're going to max out at 200.
And when you practice with your army, don't just play a game
and leave it.
Play a game, and if you lose it, don't be like, this is a junk unit. You play that list again, like we're going to be doing on our YouTube series. One will go out for free, where we play. I'll be attacking. The one that will go into the plus will be the one that Steve goes. So you can see how both armies function, attacking and defending.
Yeah.
So that's how you need to run your own armies.
Yeah. You
need to play 4 or 5 games, so you know what every unit does and how it functions, and then change it.
Yeah. What's the couple of things here? Henrik has said, Yanari better or worse? Oh, absolutely better than they were. Assault Terminators over the new Blade Guard. I think if I'm not putting any Blade Guard into my Blood Angels.
No.
Fact, it's not going in. I would consider some Terminators with Thunderhammer Storm Shields though, and not because of that sort of weird 2+1 up save thing.
It has been said, I saw a bit earlier, that it's +1 to the dice roll, not 1 to the stat. So you don't get that weird 1 zone modify ever, a 1 always passes, but it doesn't kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. Isn't it?
Yeah, so Thunderhammer Storm Shield one's good, I think now. Because you get turn 3, they're getting what, 5 attacks on the charge?
Something like that, yeah.
Something ridiculous like that.
Pretty good. Jared said there is a reason they have gone up. Yeah, I think he was talking about the Harlequin bikes there. Jared said, Stephen, Death Jesters aren't even on the USGW site.
Is that because they sold out immediately?
Kylo said, talking about practice. Aaron said, I actually miss some of those abusive interactions. Aaron's also said, the thing about the rule abuses, GW saw how people were using them and the rules and chose not to FAQ them.
Well, the thing is, you've got to think about it thematically, right? Because you explained to me about this. Rapping and tramping is not abuse, right?
No.
You're a guardsman and you've just been charged by an 18-foot tall super soldier in mech armour, right?
You're probably cowering on the floor.
Yeah, a Blood Angel one who was ripped to shreds and his armour is gold, right? You're going to just be like, cool, I'm dead. Just lie down.
You're going to lie down, probably wet yourself, and probably cry out, where's your mum?
And anyone that tries to run, they'll just grab him by the scruff of the neck.
You'd be like, no.
And just hold him there.
Or, you see it in movies all the time, where the bad guy grabs somebody, and he puts a gun to the head, and he just walks them forward as a human shield. And the person behind it is too honourable to actually shoot their own fellow guardsmen, so they just walk up to him, and then they just go, dead. Okay, next. And that's exactly, it's extremely thematic, I think. Anyway, Nick said, Judica, worth making fight last. Absolutely, that is fantastic. Really, really strong. Fabrico said, so I'm curious, what is your Harlequin list right now, Stephen? I'm not going to tell you yet.
Because he wants to win all the games with it first.
No, I want to make a battle report. I want to do there'll be a full army review, deep dive on Vanguard Tactics Plus.
Can I run the ad mech so I can just shoot you in combat?
No. You can run whatever you want, to be honest. Right, anyway, anyway, guys, Matthew said, what are you going to take for your Blood Angels now? Again,
3 Whirlwinds and a Leviathan Dreadnought.
I'm just going to listen to everybody else that's out there.
Flamer Aggressors.
Intercessors, Impulsers. Probably not. But look, I need more test games.
Just because it looks like a legitimate army doesn't mean it is a legitimate
I won't
army.
be putting Blade Guard in. I won't be doing that. I won't be running Assault Intercessors.
I personally think Blade Guard are best suited in White Scars because turn 3, those boys are flat damage free, -3.
It's pretty strong, yeah. Very good. And they can advance in charge. Yeah. Very good. Anyway, guys, we can leave that there. So remember, if you like this video, please give it a like. We really, really appreciate if you give this a like. And the reason for that, it helps us reach more people, hopefully get this good content. And if you do enjoy our content and you think we've got a fair balanced view of things and, you know, all those likes, subscribes and extra engagement will hopefully get on GW's radar and they might go, hey guys at Vanguard Tactics, you've got a really good balanced view. Yeah. We'd love you to become a playtester, review our stuff for you, so we can give you the kind of inside route so we don't get things incorrectly. We can get them absolutely spot on as they are intended with a good, balanced, fair viewpoint. So if you would like that, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends.
Yeah.
And join us next week at 6 o'clock.
Get your mum, your dad, your uncle, your nan, get them to sign up. Yeah. Or go around their house when they're not looking.
Yeah. Oh, and remember, the competition. So you need to subscribe, like this video.
We're going to show it off. Like
the empty box.
So the empty box.
The empty box, which will be
tray.
Tray. Full terrain set.
Full terrain set. You take that one.
I'm taking it. Yeah, I'm taking it.
The measurer doodad. Are they getting objective markers?
They're getting objective markers, but I don't have them.
And
the Colonel.
The Colonel. Apparently, he comes.
Katachan Colonel.
He comes with the sweet operator head, where it's got like a bit. They call it. Remember that cool beard I had?
No.
That you made me shave off.
Wasn't cool.
Right, he's got one of those and a mohawk.
I remember the beard, but not the corners.
I am not jacked like him. Yeah, so it didn't probably suit me.
The Colonel, Katachan Colonel, and also you get a stainless steel Vanguard Tactics mug and Vanguard Tactics cap.
And you get to spend a day here
with us in the studio playing games of 40k. So anyway, so remember guys, link is in the description below to sign up for that course. You have to sign up for that. And you know, obviously that course will be free, so it's no charge to enter in this competition. All you got to do is subscribe.
It's not like we're going, come here, give us money, then we might give you a prize. It's come here, we'll give you some free films to watch to help you learn.
All about night.
You could win something.
You could win a big prize, and there might even be more.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get a mat as well.
I'm trying to get a mat,
and I'm trying to get a mat, a new size battle mat to go with this stack. And I think the value of this would be ridiculous. Yeah.
And Steve will make you a cup of coffee.
And that's big. Yeah. Anyway, guys, we love you and leave you. Join us next week at 6 o'clock, and we'll probably have more things to share with you. All things 9th edition. So take care, and we'll see you then.
Bye-bye now.